Buckle up, folks. You won't believe the fiery showdown that just went down at the White House. Canada's Mark Carney faced off with President Donald Trump in a tense meeting that had sparks flying over tariffs, trade, and Trump's wild idea of making Canada the 51st U.S. state. Is this a diplomatic disaster or the start of a bold new chapter for North America? Stick around as we break down every jaw-dropping moment, unpack the stakes for both nations, and reveal Trump's bombshell foreign policy moves that could change the world stage forever. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Focal Point, where we cut through the noise to bring you the news that matters. Today, we're zooming in on a high-stakes White House meeting that's got everyone talking. Canada's newly elected leader, Mark Carney, stepped into the lion's den to meet President Donald Trump, and let's just say it wasn't all maple syrup and smiles. From heated exchanges over crippling tariffs to Trump's repeated taunts about annexing Canada, this encounter was a roller coaster of diplomacy, defiance, and deal-making. Plus, Trump dropped some major foreign policy bombshells that could reshape global alliances. So, what really happened behind those Oval Office doors? Let's break it all down. First, let's set the stage. Mark Carney, Canada's new Prime Minister, rode into office on a wave of fierce opposition to Trump's aggressive trade policies and his provocative calls to make Canada part of the United States. If you've been following the news, you know Trump hasn't been shy about his vision of a united North America, under American stars and stripes, of course. He's floated the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state multiple times, calling it a wonderful marriage where both sides would get along great. But for Canadians, this isn't a rom-com. It's a sovereignty red line. And Carney's been crystal clear. Canada is not for sale. Their White House meeting started with a surprisingly warm vibe. Cameras caught Trump and Carney greeting each other with synchronized body language, almost like they were mirroring each other's moves. It was a brief moment of camaraderie, suggesting both leaders wanted to at least try to play nice. But don't let that fool you. The pleasantries didn't last long. Once the doors closed, things got heated, and the core issues came roaring to the surface. At the heart of this showdown are Trump's punishing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports like aluminum, steel, vehicles, and auto parts. These tariffs have slammed Canada's economy, hitting industries that rely heavily on the U.S. market. For context, the U.S. is Canada's largest trading partner, with over $900 billion in goods and services crossing the border annually. When Trump slapped these tariffs on, it was like pulling the rug out from under Canadian manufacturers. Factories are struggling, jobs are at risk, and prices for everyday goods are creeping up as businesses pass on the costs. Carney's mission? Convince Trump to ease up on these tariffs and give Canada's economy some breathing room. But Trump's not budging easily. In classic Trump fashion, he framed the tariffs as a response to what he calls Canada's socialist regime, taking advantage of the U.S. for decades upon decades. He painted a picture of Canada as a freeloader, benefiting from American markets while offering little in return. Everybody wants to make a deal, Trump said, hinting that Carney was at the White House to beg for relief. But he didn't sound optimistic, calling the negotiations really complex and suggesting Canada's been feeding off the U.S. for too long. Ouch. That's not exactly the warm fuzzies you'd hope for between neighbors. Carney, for his part, came armed with resolve. During his campaign, he rallied Canadians with a fierce defense of national pride, vowing to fight back with everything we have against Trump's economic pressure and annexation talk. At the White House, he didn't back down. When Trump brought up his 51st state fantasy, Carney shut it down with a sharp analogy. In real estate, he said, some places are never for sale, like Buckingham Palace or, frankly, Canada. He even threw in a jab about meeting Canada's owners, the Canadian people, during his campaign, making it clear that the nation's sovereignty isn't up for negotiation. It was a bold move, standing toe-to-toe with Trump on his home turf. Now let's talk about that annexation idea, because it's wilder than it sounds. Trump's been pitching this as a win-win, claiming Americans and Canadians like each other a lot and could thrive as one nation. He's even called it a wonderful marriage, framing it as a natural union of two friendly neighbors. But let's be real, this isn't about love. For Trump, absorbing Canada could mean access to its vast natural resources, like oil, timber, and minerals, plus a bigger economic footprint to counter rivals like China. For Canada, though, it's a non-starter. Polls show over 80% of Canadians oppose any move toward U.S. statehood, and Carney's election was a mandate to protect Canada's independence. This issue isn't just a talking point, it's a geopolitical lightning rod. Beyond tariffs and annexation, the two leaders had other thorny topics on the table. One big one, the war in Ukraine. Canada's been a staunch supporter of Ukraine, sending aid and weapons while condemning Russia's invasion. Trump, meanwhile, has taken a more isolationist stance, questioning U.S. involvement and pushing for a quick resolution. While we don't have full details on their Ukraine discussion, Trump's comments suggest he sees Canada as a partner in broader foreign policy talks. "We'll be talking about the war," he said, adding that America will always be friends with Canada. It's a rare olive branch, but with Trump, nothing's ever that simple. And then, because it's Trump, he couldn't resist stealing the spotlight with some unexpected announcements. With TV cameras rolling, he dropped two major foreign policy bombshells that have the world buzzing. First, he claimed the Houthi rebels in Yemen, yes, the ones disrupting global shipping in the Red Sea, have told the U.S. they're ready to stand down. According to Trump, the Houthis have pledged to stop attacking international ships, and as a result, he's halting the U.S. bombing campaign against them, effective immediately. If true, this is a massive de-escalation in a region that's been a hot spot for years. But with no independent confirmation yet, analysts are urging caution. Is this a genuine breakthrough or classic Trump showmanship? We'll need more details to know for sure. The second bombshell was even vaguer but no less intriguing. Trump teased a very big, very positive announcement tied to his upcoming Middle East trip, where he'll visit Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. He called it the most important announcement in years, hinting it could involve the Middle East peace process or something else entirely. Speculation is running wild, with some guessing it's a new trade deal, others betting on a diplomatic push with Israel and its neighbors. Whatever it is, Trump's milking the suspense, promising to unveil it before he jets off next week. You can bet we'll be watching closely. So where does this leave U.S.-Canada relations? It's complicated. On one hand, Trump and Carney both signaled a desire to keep things friendly, with Trump insisting the U.S. and Canada will always be allies. On the other, the tariff war and annexation talk are major sticking points, and neither side seems ready to back down. Carney's got a tough road ahead, balancing Canada's economic needs with its fierce independence. Trump, meanwhile, is playing hardball, using tariffs as leverage while dangling the 51st state idea to keep Canada on edge. It's a high-stakes chess game, and the next moves will be critical. For now, Canadians are rallying behind Carney's defiance. Social media is buzzing with memes of Canada's flag standing tall, and number not for sale is trending across platforms. But the economic pain from tariffs is real, and if negotiations stall, things could get uglier. As for Trump, he's clearly enjoying the spotlight, using this meeting to flex his deal-making muscle and tease global game changers. Whether he's bluffing or delivering, one thing's certain: the world's eyes are on him. What do you think, viewers? Can Carney hold the line against Trump's pressure? Is there a deal to be made, or are we headed for a bigger clash? And what's this mystery announcement Trump's hyping up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. We'll be back with more news you need to know, so stay tuned to Focal Point. Until next time, keep questioning, keep engaging, and we'll see you soon.